Is this thing on? Is it on? I don't know what career I wanna do, and it's okay. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. What about my 5-year plan? Shit, I have to get my CV in order. Stop panicking. I get it. Trust me, of all people, I get it. I'm actually not filming this video for you. I need this talk more than you do. I've been reflecting a lot lately on the fact that I don't know what I want my future career title to be. And rather than seeing that as something devastating and stressful, I'm choosing to see that as something damn exciting. I just finished reading this book, Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid, something like that. And at the heart of the novel is this aimless 25-year-old Emily Tucker. She majored in English. After graduating, she still didn't know where to fit in. Like, she was still kind of lost. Tell me about it. So, in a quiet panic about her financials and about her career choices, she finds a part-time job in babysitting for the Chamberlains. Now, I want to focus on her boss, Emily Chamberlain. This is a 33-year-old mom influencer. In her late 20s, she started this Instagram-based female empowerment brand called Let Her Speak. And she's been on panels, she's shown up on big tables, man. She's done big things. In my eyes, she is successful. Now, the book doesn't ignore her white feminism and whatever, but that's a story for another day. I want to focus on her career journey and how it inspired me to create a video like this and to, calm down a little bit about my career trajectory or whatever. What I'm trying to get at is that that's the thing about successful people. That's the thing about the people we deem successful in our eyes. We see them at that success stage. We see the final product of skills building, of learning, of growing, and of failing. We basically see those people when they've found their sweet spot after all that they've gone through. And then our brains kind of filter out all the struggles, all the hardships that they've gone through, and choose to see the end product. And then the worst part of it is that us now, as the young people, as the people who are in that process, we choose to compare ourselves to people who have already found their sweet spot, to people who have already gone through that process. And it's not fair on ourselves to do that. Of course, the struggle is normal. The mess is normal. It is normal for your life to be a mess right now that doesn't make sense. That is exactly what it's supposed to be, especially for us in our generation, and I'll explain why later.
I have to say, I really admire how you guys are so in the moment and just enjoying doing and making things. It's inspiring.
Thanks, Joshy.
People our age are so success and results oriented. They've forgotten about process.
Josh, are you success oriented?
Totally.
I was so inspired by her story that I want to talk a little bit about her story in an attempt to kind of position us navigating our careers in the current age versus to back then. Living near a hospital sucks. Can you hear the helicopter? Anyway, as I was saying, Emily Chamberlain, I think she's successful. She found her voice in the media space and used it to empower other women, and I love that. Life is a weird series of luck and serendipity, and through increasing your circle of influence. And to increase your circle of influence, you have to, well, first of all, your circle of influence is basically you and what you encompass and what you stand for, the things you talk about. It is the relationships you form and you and what you stand for, basically. So to increase that, you have to be very open to opportunity. I don't know what title my career will choose. I know I love doing some things. I know there are things I enjoy. I know for sure that there are areas that I would love to impact. But if you asked me specifically, I wouldn't tell you. And why is that? I think that our generation has been operating on this fixated idea of what a career should be. And we inherited that from our parents. You study, you choose a sector, you work hard at that, you climb the ladder through the hierarchy, you work there for the next 40 odd years of your life until retirement. Maybe you change careers once, maybe, but not too much. Like, that is the idea that we milked off our parents, that careers are supposed to be like that. Guys, this is 2020. Social media wasn't a thing 10 years ago. The internet is still a fairly new concept. Hell, Wi-Fi is still a new thing, especially here in South Africa. We cannot possibly see what the world will be like in the next 10 years. And we are the generation that's gonna pivot more than any other generation before us. We are the lucky ones to have the opportunity to jump from job to job and learn skill to skill. And we are the lucky ones to have the chance to explore careers as the world changes. We get to learn and experience so much from so many jobs until we eventually find our sweet spot, until we eventually find somewhere that makes us feel valued, that makes us feel appreciated, or we don't and continue to pivot. I think that we crave something fixed because it's easy, because we know what to expect from it, and because that's what our parents had to go off of. Of course, they're gonna ask us questions like, what do you wanna be when you grow up? Or what is your goal? And then on top of that, there's this whole reputation game that is attached to careers. Some careers are better than others. But why? Why can't our careers evolve as we evolve? I mean, just take the job that you think is interesting after uni, and when that stops being interesting, pivot, find another job that you find interesting. Allow room for yourself to learn and grow and meet people. If you do that, I mean, you're bound to meet interesting people with an interesting outlook on life, and interesting people know interesting people. You take the experience you learned from the previous job, mix it with what you're learning in the current job, and just like that, you are a complete new breed of a person. You grow, your circle grows, you learn. I mean, maybe your future career doesn't even have a name yet, who knows? I say, instead of defining our careers as young people, I propose we start defining our values instead. Hear me out. Career shift. And as long as you know your values, it doesn't matter what your career title is, as long as whatever you're doing aligns with your values. And as long as it impacts the world the way you want, you would have found your sweet spot, even if it's momentarily. Now, I'm not oblivious. I'm not, what's the word? Gullible. I understand that in this life you have to make money. But in my heart of hearts, I really do believe that each and every one of us have the potential to work at a job that we like. I really do believe that we deserve to be happy. We deserve to wake up and feel like we are doing something valuable that adds value and brings value to our lives, not just to bring food to the table, but also just satisfaction inside. Now, education helps you get there. Learning and growing helps you get there. Privilege helps you get there. We all need stepping stones along the way to keep our options open. You know, when they say the world is your oyster, I believe that. I believe that now more than I did a couple of years ago, because there's just so much you can do. There are so many careers. Some don't even exist yet. So why stress? I mean, when I was 12, I couldn't have imagined that I'd be able to make money just by having the internet. I wouldn't have imagined me making money from recording voiceovers. How could I ever have predicted that I would have had a job one day that would pay me for speaking about social justice issues? Like, I never thought activists got paid. Like,
the true question is not how I became famous, rather how I became rich.
You see what I'm talking about? Like, it's crazy. What? And here's the cool thing about being alive today is that anything you want to learn, you can have access to from the internet. Anything and everything is at your disposal. If there's a company you like, you can literally just go on LinkedIn, DM someone who is from that company, offer them some value in some way or another, and hopefully start a conversation that will either enlighten you or bring you to some common ground. This whole world is built on networks. We are all linked. Nothing and nobody is out of your reach. If you're currently working a job you don't like, I get it. You have to make that money. You're doing great. But in your free time, start manifesting whatever skills you would like to have. And by starting there, you'll be able to imagine what kind of career path that you would like to take. And from there, you'll start to have conversations that will lead you towards that. And from there, you'll start to meet people that are in that circle. You see, like, the circle grows in that way. And don't even try to think about how your current job might lead you into your next or might help you into the next one. That's not your business to worry about. Just think beyond your reality and let life lead. I think whatever is destined shall be. So if, like me, you don't know what to do, here's a few takeaways I learned from that book. 1, give yourself options. You do that by doing A-levels, even if they suck. Go get that certificate, go get that diploma, go take an online course. I took and I still take a lot of online courses from Udemy for like 150 Rand. And these are real skills. These are skills that I have. These are skills that have been useful to me in the past. These are skills that I'm using currently on this channel. And that cost me like what? A bottle of wine? So sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? Number 2, do a great job at whatever you have to do, even if you work at a shitty job. Now take this from me. Before leaving my first job after uni, I was starting to slack, man. The girl who arrives late and be the first to pack when it's time to leave. My work was starting to become sloppy, and that's when I thought, you know what, I'm too young to be ruining my reputation like this. I might as well just leave, because this is not bringing out the best in me, and it's not going to help me in any way in the future by forcing myself to stay. So I left. But I could have left under better circumstances, when I was still the energetic, the pleasure to be around. Because by the time I left, I was halfway into a depression. It was really bad. Number 3, focus on the work. Forget about the career title, forget about the company, forget about everything else. Just focus on what you're doing. Are you learning at least something new every week? Is the quality of your conversations improving? Are you meeting new people and creating relationships with them? You know, just think about the work. Number 4, listen to opportunity and be open-minded. There are so many people who ignore opportunity and let it pass by because, well, starting something new is difficult, guys. Trust me, your brain will tell you not to do it. Your brain will give you 110 reasons not to do it because that is how human beings are wired. We are not supposed to feel uncomfortable. Our brains protect us from things that are foreign, from things that are just uncomfortable. So your brain will fight you. Your brain will tell you,
you're not good enough, you don't belong there, it doesn't make sense to go there, don't.
But that is when you should push the hardest. That is when you should fight with your brain and tell it, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Every time it says nope, just go, I'm doing it. And once you start, you'll find that you don't even remember why you were even stressed about it to begin with, because that's how our brains work. They try to protect us from new things, from things that are scary to us. Number 5, the people you work with and the connections you make are far more valuable than the company you work for. As I said before, this world is made of connections. It is made of... Hi. So my camera decided to take a breather in the middle of my sentence. Rude. But what I was trying to say is that the world is a big network of people. Interesting people know interesting people. So gain mentors and keep in contact. And number 6 is don't wish away now by stressing about the future. I know this because I stress a lot about the future. I think a lot about the future. I keep trying to make decisions for Destiny in 5 years. Like, I'm gonna be a completely different person in 2 years. I can feel it. So why am I stressing? So I might as well just enjoy 22 before it's over. My job right now is to keep learning and to keep growing, and I will deal with Destiny in 5 years when that time comes. Last tip, at the end of the day, enjoy your life. Just do the things you want for the sake of doing them. Go volunteer at a pet store because you like dogs. What the hell? Life is short. And that's on that. Purr. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you in the next video.
I just want you to love me better.